All right. I know I always wear hockey jerseys, but this is amazing. I got this at Spencer's. It is a shirt that I got that I'm very proud of. And yeah, so I'm sorry I wasn't around yesterday. But as I said, I was out at Spencer's. I went to Seven Oaks. Um, I went to which other malls did I go to? I went to Guilford. Somewhere else I went to. Oh, I went to Costco. I didn't intend to go to Costco. Nobody intends to go to Costco, I don't think. Costco, nothing's cheap. It's just bigger. And the other shirt I got at there's a theme here. So I like this. This is my favorite thing now. I intend to wear this at work a lot. I found that, and it is my favorite shirt ever. So not every shirt I buy is a hockey jersey. Um, and no, that's not intended towards anybody on this channel. I know I've been quiet, and there are reasons for that. Um, Anybody's like, yeah, you got a girlfriend. Well, yeah, that's part of it. And I've been trying to think of like a lot of hits, a lot of revenue, and a lot of subs were generated when I did the season previews. Now there's a lot of arguments, sure, because I'm making an opinion. Now I've got the new hockey guide and record book coming. It's available on Amazon right now for $32. I highly recommend it. It's got Sidney Crosby on the cover. You can't miss it. Um, and I recommend it because it does tell you a lot of things you're not necessarily going to know offhand, and it gives you a lot of information on prospects and on drafts and on yeah, I mean it's all just the information. There's no subjective anything to it. There's no previews. There's no this guy sucks, this guy's great. It's just straight numbers. It doesn't have the advanced stats, but since this is an NHL magazine, it's probably about 5 years behind the time. So 5 years from now, it'll be all kinds of advanced stats when people have moved on to something else. Um, but when I get it, my intention is simple. I want to do a new series, and again, I'm going to go alphabetically through the league and take a look at each franchise. I think that might be kind of fun. I mean, we're arguing over who's great this year and all this stuff. I think it might be fun to look at, and I can look at who the coaches have been, the GMs, the good times, the bad times. Like I could have a lot of fun with this. And then there's pre-hockey guy era and post-hockey guy era. Because when I get into the original six, obviously I wasn't around to witness most of their histories. At least I hope it's obvious I wasn't around to witness most of their histories. But I'm intending to do that, to do a series where I go through each team, and I'll even take a look at defunct franchises. Like for instance, when I go through Winnipeg, the current Winnipeg Jets, I'll also talk about the Atlanta Thrashers because that is the same organization. So that's my intention, and I'll start that next week when I get the magazine's supposed to be here Wednesday. I'm getting it delivered to Yvonne's because ever since Pure Later kind of winged my shit around and did that with my video game, I've been really antsy about using Amazon for anything. So I'm getting it shipped to Yvonne's because she's got a home with a front door and they can't just wing it in her place. So I get stuff shipped to her now. I just make sure she knows about it first. Um, it's handy, but when I get that magazine, and also I'm getting a can cozy, which I haven't had one. I had one when my ex left me, but she bought it for me, so I threw it away. It was Canucks, so the new can cozy that's on its way is Dallas, because of course it's Dallas, of course it is. Um, but yeah, I had a good day yesterday and was productive. But I understand that my channel it tends to go through a bit of its peaks and valleys, and I have to figure out exactly where those valleys are coming in because there was 2 days last week where my overall revenue was a buck 50, and I'm like, that's not good enough. There's something, so I'll have to look back at those 2 days, and I thought maybe it was underreporting because I didn't think my view counts were that far down, but maybe. So we're at 1335 for subs. I'm gonna do my preview for tonight's games. It would be interesting now that we're like over a week into the season. I'm thinking, I wonder what my record is. I wonder where my record's at, and I have no idea. So if anybody wants to sit down and go, you are, and throw a record at me, then I can start tracking it from today on. But it's just one of those minor things. I don't really have a whole lot of concern about it. There was also talk about how scoring is up by a goal a game so far this year, and how we're over 50 games into the season, and usually by this point, there's very little fluctuation in terms of scoring. So the opening week of the season to see that kind of scoring isn't unusual, but to see it to continue, and it's been continuing. I don't know. Maybe scoring is going to be up, and I would be very happy because more scoring means more 100-point scorers, means more exciting games. I've always felt that the argument that we need to make goalies equipment smaller, we need to make the nets bigger. I've always thought that kind of, while yes, that would increase scoring, it also changes the game. And I think there are ways to get offense in the game without ruining the game. So I hope that's more where the NHL is going to go. You can make equipment smaller. I agree. Goalie equipment can be really crazy. We're not like it was with Jean-Sebastien Giguère. J.S. Giguère was just, he was called the Michelin Man for a reason. And it was insane. He'd shoot the puck and it would just go into his jersey and then just disappear. There's probably still pucks falling out of that jersey wherever he has it hanging. I just, we don't want to go back to that. We're not at that stage, but there's some room for, like, I don't know, how far do you want to go with it? How far do you want to go before then goalies start getting upset because, oh, I hurt my shoulder because my pads are too small. I took I took a shot that wouldn't have bothered me before, but with smaller pads. Now I'm injured, and then a GM's going to step forward and go, I've invested $6 million in this goaltender. Now he's out because you had to make the pads smaller. There's a line there, and I'm not an expert to figure out where it is. They certainly have better people than me on it, although I hope that committee's better than the safety committee. The safety committee that they feel should be made up by guys who didn't care about safety when they were players enough to prevent themselves from injuring people. Although I will say, I don't remember George Parros intentionally injuring anybody, but he was in a lot of fights, which we now understand causes concussions regularly. So, I mean, Don Cherry used to argue, oh, it's a good old Donnybrook, it's nothing wrong with a little bit of fighting between two good Canadian kids. And we know now that, when guy B gets knocked down by guy A and he gets up all kind of, and Don Cherry's like, hey, look at that, he's a little, he's a little woozy, he's okay. Now we understand he probably had a concussion. Probably not okay. So, did George Parros intentionally injure anybody? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember offhand any suspensions. And I mean, if a guy's really dirty, I can remember, whether it's Sean Avery, Rafi Torres. Kessler should be suspended for being a prick, but I don't think they can suspend people for that yet. Speaking of which, I do intend on streaming tonight. And I don't know if I'm going to stream the Canucks game against Anaheim. See, Yvonne's kids are away this weekend. So, technically, I could sit with her and watch the game and stream it, which could be interesting because I don't know if she can sit through an entire hockey game. It's a sport she doesn't hate. Like, she hates football and baseball and golf and anything that's not hockey, basically. She's like, no. But it might be interesting to watch a game with her and see, if she's that into hockey or not. Anyways, and for anybody who's still bugging, what does she look like? You'd have to look at my Instagram account because there's a picture of her and I together on my Instagram account. So, and all I had to do was take a picture with my camera that made me look like I was 80, and made her look terrible. And she's like, no. And she took a picture with her camera and sent it to me, and that's the one that I use on Instagram because she was not going to allow me to post the picture I had taken. So boys, if you're out there listening and you want to get a picture of your girl, just take a really shitty picture of her. She'll send you a new one. She won't. She won't allow the crappy one to get posted. Anyways, I'm gonna do my preview. I'm gonna get the shut the fuck up shirt off, and put on a hockey jersey for that. But anyways, I just thought I would give sort of an update and a general video on the state of things. Almost like an apology for not being more active, but I think it's a matter of finding a theme. And when I look at other channels that are popular, there's usually some kind of theme going on in terms of what they're posting. And I can't post NHL streams right now because NHL 17, the rosters are still garbage, and it sucks because it takes a lot of time, and I'm not a guy that I can't just put Thatcher Demko in and then go there, I'm good, and start a file. I have to put everybody in. I have to put every prospect into the organizations and go from there. Or to me, it feels, and this is funny because it's just me playing the game. To me, it feels like I'm just being a homer. Like, okay, well, as long as all the Canucks prospects are in there, I'm good to go. No, no. I need to have every prospect, and it has to be accurate. One thing that drives me nuts in the game is there are so many players whose potential is AHL top 6, which means they're never going to develop into top 6 forwards. Seventh defenseman, never going to develop into anything decent. It's frustrating because I see that and I go, oh, I have to edit this guy. Even I think Gustav Forsling is low top 6, meaning he has a low chance of being a top 6 defenseman. It's like, no. So I changed it to medium top 4. I know I changed medium top 4. I can't remember if it's low top 4 or low top 6. I think it's low top 6. And it's like, no. The reports out of Chicago, from what I saw of him in the preseason, this kid has all the potential in the world. And guys in Vancouver saying he's got a low potential for top 6. This is from EA in Vancouver. That's what this is. This is them saying, well, the Canucks gave up on him, so he can't be that good. He is that good. The Canucks shouldn't have given up on him. But anyways, I digress. I hope everybody else is having a sensational Saturday. It is almost 2 o'clock, so Yvonne will be here in any minute. Any minute that doorbell's going to ring. You guys are awesome, and I'm going to have more content coming up pretty quickly here, and I just wanted to give you guys sort of an update on roughly what's going on. And that's the thing, too. When I do this, look into organizations and teams, and I'm going to get into all-time leading scorers, all-time best goaltenders, all-time best defensemen. I'm going to get into everything for each team. Let me know if there's any other sort of aside thing that you're curious about, any sort of historical information, hockey-related, or anything along those lines. So even if it's just something minor like, I've been looking around and I can't find out why this team doesn't wear this jersey anymore. I can't find out what happened to insert name of player here. And I'll see what I can come up with. I've got over 20, well, I've got about 20 years in magazines, and I've got, books that date back past that as well. So I've got a lot of information to draw upon. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I will talk to y'all again really, really soon.